The deal is off. Today was the deadline for Minnesota and Wisconsin to reach an agreement for tax reciprocity between the two states. And that deadline has come and gone. News 8's Jenna Traum takes a closer look at what that means for commuters.
Mike, every day, tens of thousands of people commute between the neighboring states for work. And once again, those commuters will have to file their tax returns in both states for 2013. It's just a 10-minute drive from Mary Burrow's home in La Crosse to her job at Mayo Clinic Health System in La Crescent. But that cross-border commute means she will once again have to file her income tax returns in both states.
Oh, not again.
That's because Wisconsin and Minnesota failed to reach an agreement on tax reciprocity again, which would have allowed her to file just one return in her home state. And she says she's had enough.
I'm going to have to start going to a tax preparer and pay for both states. So yeah, it's a hassle. It'd be nice if I didn't have to do that.
She's in good company. Nearly 60,000 Wisconsin residents work in Minnesota, and more than 22,000 Minnesota residents work in the Badger State. Here's the problem. As part of a new deal, Minnesota wanted Wisconsin to pay an extra $10 to $15 million to compensate Minnesota for tax revenue they'd be losing. The Wisconsin Department of Revenue says no way.
We just think that Minnesota is being unreasonable in asking for us to pay them an amount that would reverse a tax increase that they imposed on their own residents when they ended reciprocity in 2009.
Plus, Minnesota has tax reciprocity agreements with Michigan and North Dakota, but do not require a similar reimbursement from them. The Minnesota Department of Revenue says that's for a reason.
Well, there's no reimbursement to Minnesota for these other states because there are so few people involved, and the tax rates are almost the same. In Wisconsin, the tax rates for most middle-income workers is higher than in Minnesota.
But if you ask Burrow, she just wishes the two states would work together.
Do it. Do it. Please do it by next year if you're not doing it this year.
Representatives from both states tell me that's exactly what they're trying to do. The new goal is to have a deal in place for tax year 2014. But if Wisconsin and Minnesota can't reach an agreement on this reimbursement issue, we could be telling you this same story again a year from now.
Thanks, Jenna. The states are working together to conduct a new study on the number of people who commute across their borders for work, and that should be finished up by 2013.